Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, I really hate it when people mess with fire alarms in public buildings. I really hate it. The reason why I hate this is because they are risking people's lives. I really hate it when people pull fire alarms for fun and tamper with fire alarm equipment. If I am in any public building and I see people pulling fire alarms for fun and tampering with fire alarm equipment, I will call the police to send them to jail because what they are doing is against the law. Tampering with, disabling, and destroying life safety equipment is a very serious felony and can get you into a lot of trouble. So that includes fire alarms. Thank goodness none of the fire alarms in any of the schools I went to have been tampered with, but unfortunately, when I was in elementary school, some kids did pull the alarm. They didn't get arrested because they were younger, but if you are in high school and you pull the alarm, you are for sure going to get arrested because it is not a toy. No one has pulled the fire alarm in my school in almost 6 years. The last time that someone has ever pulled the alarm in my school was in April of 2016. It was a Thursday, April 14th, 2016, in my elementary school. One of my classmates, who was a troublemaker, pulled the alarm. But ever since then, that has never happened. And never in my life have I went to a school where kids would tamper with any of the fire alarms. Which is good. And in the past, not only did I see people pull fire alarms at school, there were people that pulled fire alarms in hotels and in churches and at places like Jill's house where special needs kids can spend the weekend away from their parents. But in none of those places I went to, no one has tampered with any of the fire alarms as far as taking them off the wall or doing anything. And I never ate at a restaurant where customers would pull the fire alarm for fun or tamper with the fire alarms. I never seen anyone mess with fire alarms at the grocery store or at recreation centers. These are facilities where people are smart enough to know not to pull fire alarms as a prank. And also in shopping malls, I didn't see anyone pull fire alarms for fun or tamper with fire alarm equipment. But there are, unfortunately, some buildings I went to where people would pull fire alarms for fun. Mostly in a school. My elementary school had a lot of troublemakers that would pull the fire alarm just to get out of class. And they thought it was funny too. But they learned their lesson. It's not funny because what they did was risk other people's lives because the fire department had to go to that school because of a student messing around in the hallways and setting the alarm off. And there was another emergency somewhere else at that time, and the fire department couldn't be at the real emergency because a student in that school decided that it was okay to pull the fire alarm for fun. Not good. To be honest, no one should pull fire alarms for fun and tamper with fire alarm equipment. And we must discipline all pranksters that do this, so this doesn't happen. And in none of the hotels I stayed in, none of the fire alarms were tampered with. Six years ago, when we were in Legoland in Florida, we stayed at a Holiday Inn. While we were asleep, the fire alarm went off in that hotel. And a prankster pulled the alarm. But none of the fire alarms in that hotel were tampered with as far as taking them off the wall or anything like that. Bye.